Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I'm a teacher who moved from Tennessee to California. I did an update video for you here. No updates yet as far as getting a job. My license and everything, credential, all that is currently being transferred over. So no updates there. This video I'm super excited for because it is another Miss Call Creates video. I know you guys love these videos. If you haven't seen the playlist, you can click right up here. Lots of tips for working in PowerPoint, things like that. But I'm gonna show you how to take the link in your Instagram bio from this, very boring, very plain, very generic, to this. Completely customized just the way you want it. First things first, if you already have Linktree set up in your Instagram bio, it is going to be a pretty easy transition. And if you don't already have Linktree or something similar set up in your Instagram bio, it is going to be just as easy, I promise you. So I'm gonna show you inside the Linktree website first really quickly and kind of talk about what it is. This is what my Linktree dashboard currently looks like. On the left side, you have all of your links and this shows whether they're active or not active, very simple. Add a new link over here. On the right side of the screen, you're gonna see a preview of what it looks like. And it's very easy, very user-friendly, and I think that's why so many people gravitate towards it, because it doesn't take a whole lot of thinking. And guess what? This is totally fine. You are totally fine using Linktree. I am by no means saying you need to go and create a whole nother thing for your links. I'm just saying I did it and this is how I did it. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and open Notepad or some kind of notes app, whatever you have on your computer, and go ahead and list out all of the links that you want. So for me, I know for sure I wanted to do my YouTube, I wanted to do my new Etsy, which is actually a big reason why I wanted to redo the whole link in my bio. I was launching my Etsy shop. I launched it just a few days ago and I said, why not just do it now? So I am selling teacher t-shirts and teacher sweatshirts. I'm really, really proud of it actually. Every single thing is hand lettered, hand drawn, and this is new for me. It's scary and I appreciate all of the support you guys have given me so far, and because you haven't skipped through this part, you can use the code on screen for 15% off of your order. It's not gonna last forever. I would so appreciate your support. Back to the video. So again, if you already have Linktree, all you need to do is copy what's in your Linktree onto this notepad. I suggest that you do this just to make it easier. That way you don't have to work from the Linktree website. You don't have to do this, but this is what I did. So I went ahead and typed out all of my links here. And then I went ahead and typed beside it if there was a deal or something they would be getting. So for printing with my HP Instant Ink code, you can get a month free of printing. With Rover, you get $20 off your first booking. With Quip, you get a free brush head. So I typed out what I wanted people to see when they clicked on my link, and then I went ahead and pasted all of my URLs. So again, if you are already using Linktree, just go over here, copy it, and then you can paste it right into your notepad. So once you have all of your links, you have all the deals listed out, you have all of the URLs listed out, kind of like this, I'm just gonna leave Linktree. Goodbye Linktree. And the next thing we're gonna do is head over to Wix.com. So I obviously am already here. I'm already logged in. Wix is a website that lets you create websites for free. If you don't have an account, it takes like maybe 2 minutes to sign up. It's super easy, but listen to me. If you do not have a Wix account, be very careful with the email you choose to sign up, because whatever website you create in Wix, unless you pay for premium, which is like $13 a month for the basic, I don't recommend it for a link in a bio website, but whatever email you use is going to be displayed in the URL of your website. So for example, if I go to my link in bio website, you can see at the top, it says callateacher.wixsite.com/link in bio, which is what I wanted to call it. You get to choose what's on the back half right here. So link in bio is what I chose. But right here, this is your email address. So if you have an email address that's maybe a little bit embarrassing or you don't want people to know, don't use that email when you sign up for Wix, because that is going to show up on your website. However, when you go into Instagram, what I did was I created a bit.ly for my Wix website. If you're not familiar with bit.ly, just type in bit.ly and you can create a shorter link. So I copied this link address right here. I made it into a bit.ly, a shorter address right here. But when you click on it, it's still going to show the full link. So be careful with whatever email you choose, because people will see it. Once you have your Wix account, we are going to create a new site. So go ahead and press the create a new site button. From here, we are going to select other. And then from here, we're going to select choose a template. So Wix does show you some beautiful template ideas for websites. I would honestly recommend, if you're new to Wix or new to designing things, that you just go ahead and take a look at some of these websites, get a little bit of inspiration. But what we're actually going to do is we're gonna go press this button on the left side that says blank templates. From here, it'll give us some more minimal layouts, cleaner things. That way you can build things up instead of having to adjust a bunch of elements that are already on the page. I promise you this way is going to be so much easier than choosing a different template, because once again, we're just making a very simple page with objects that link to things. So I'm actually gonna select start from scratch and press edit. So now we have our blank website. I know this can be intimidating, but I promise I'm gonna walk you through every single thing. So the first thing that I did for my website was I added a header. So it looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and add that right now. So in order to add it, you're just gonna press the add button on the side, and you're gonna go to image and then your upload. So from here you can upload whatever image you'd like, and you don't even need a header. It could be so simple that you don't even have a header, or you could just type your name. So I'm gonna select my image and add it to my page, and this is what it looks like. So I definitely need to crop this down a little bit, and I'm gonna press that crop tool. Over here it shows you can crop it down to a shape. I'm gonna keep it as a square and then adjust from there and just make it a little bit smaller and apply. There we go. Maybe I wanna make it a little bit smaller. So because we're actually making this for a mobile device, we don't really need to worry too much about what the desktop version looks like. We still want it to look like good because it makes it easier when we go to edit it on our mobile version, but I'm not gonna worry about dragging this header all the way across the page. I'm gonna leave it just the way it is. So the next thing is actually adding the links. You can make a link out of any objects you add to your page. So I'm gonna go back to my page, for example. I have these square buttons. I have these long buttons that kind of mimic Linktree. I have a separate section down here with buttons that are actually images. So I'm gonna show you how to do all of that. Hopping back over to the editor, I'm gonna press the add button once again. And what we're gonna do is scroll down to button. They have made it so easy for us. So over here it shows themed buttons. You've got text buttons. You've got icon buttons apparently. This is where you can get creative, make it your own. And you know what, guys? If you decide, Maylene, I really like the way yours is set up, I'm totally gonna do exactly like you did. I don't care, because guess what? All of our link and bios were the same thing before. We were all using Linktree. If you wanna borrow my design, go for it, all the power to you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select this button, plain old button. We're gonna be able to customize it, make whatever we want. So click it, or sorry, drag it in, and then you can move it wherever you want. We're not gonna mess with that for now. We're just going to make it say what we want it to say. So for example, I'm gonna make it say YouTube. At this point, I'm not adding links to anything, and I recommend that you don't add links yet either, even though you're probably tempted to do it. I recommend just making all of your buttons first. So it says YouTube, but it doesn't look the way I want it to look. I'm gonna press the design button right here. It looks like a little brush, and from here you can change the color. So click on customize design, fill color and opacity, which is how strong the color is. You can make it more transparent. If you press this little color button right here, it'll bring you to these colors, which I do not like. If you press add color, you can customize it from here. Use your little scrolly thing. So I'm just gonna do like a pink color, and it shows you right here what it's gonna look like. So that looks good to me. I'm gonna add that, and then we don't have to make that color again. It's there for us, ready to go. So I've got a button that says YouTube. Then we can change our text, so we can make it a different font. So I'm gonna click here, and Trend would be a cute, oh no, I don't like that. I tend to like the more simple looking fonts, so I think I used Roboto for mine. And then I could also add more space between the text to make it look a little cleaner if I wanted. Whatever you wanted to do. You can change the size of your button by just adjusting the dots like that. And I'm not gonna spend too long on the examples. I'm just gonna kind of show you how to do it. So that's how I made my first button, pretty much. From there, if you want another button like this, all you need to do, press down with 2 fingers, the 2-finger click, copy it, and then you paste it. You can also do the Control-C, Control-V method. It'll do the same thing. That's why I don't recommend putting your links in yet. Just make all your buttons first. Now, The way I made my other button is very, very similar. So I just clicked add and I chose a different style of button. The reason I chose a different style is because one of the things that I really did not like about Linktree was that it was all the same and it was all text, and it just wasn't very appealing to me. I didn't like having to like read a bunch of things to find more things where I wanted certain things to stand out. So those first 3 buttons I keep at the top of my page, right up here, I like them because they stand out. All right, so I think for the other buttons, I don't know what I used. Oh, this one, this is the one I used. And then I'm just gonna change the text. So we'll say teacher stuff. And I actually like the default font of this one. Again, you can go in, change the color by clicking that design tab over here, whatever you wanna do, and then change the size if you'd like. And then if you wanna duplicate it, Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste it, however many that you need. All right, so we've got a couple of them there. And then the next thing I did was I added a section for my codes and my links. And I wanted this section to be separate. So over on my page, you can actually see it says codes and links. So to do that, we're just going to add text. So back to our add button. And then this time, instead of adding a button, we're just going to add text. You can pick whichever one you want. I'm just gonna pick heading, and then we're gonna customize it from there. So I'm gonna drag in whatever text object that I want and then edit that text. So you can make it say whatever you want. You can even put this at the top of your page and say, hey, thanks for clicking on my link, or welcome to my whatever you want to say. I'm just gonna say codes and links. From here you can change the font again. I don't remember which font that I used. It was something simple. We're just gonna go with the bold version. And again, you can change the color of your text, all sorts of little customization options for you. Oh, sorry, you have to highlight it first. Highlight it, and then you can change the color of your text. You can change your text box. So I'm gonna do that. And then that's what it looks like. Doesn't look too bad. Now at this point, this little line right here is the bottom of your page. I'm not ready to be at the bottom of my page yet. So what I can actually do is I clicked inside this main area right here, and this lets me adjust the height of my page. So I'm gonna bring that down because I need a little bit more room. Much better. This is what it looks like so far. Now I'm gonna add some more buttons. So again, to show you what I did on my page, I have these buttons. They almost look like apps in a way. And in order to do this, you're gonna have to go to Google and download the images that you want. They're not built into Wix, obviously. So if you go to Google and you type in Grove logo, the images are gonna pop up. You can save them from there. I wouldn't recommend doing the PNG images. I would just go for something flat and white. I'm gonna go ahead and save this one. Save image as, and I usually just save things to my desktop whenever I'm downloading things. That way I can just delete them afterwards if I don't need them. So we're just gonna save it as Grove on my desktop. It's a JPEG, we're good to go. Save it, back to Wix. Basically just go ahead and download all the buttons that you like. I have some on here that are like circular, and if I was gonna be really picky about it, I would go back and pick something different so they all kind of match. But I don't care that much because guess what? When people click the link in your bio, they're gonna be there for maximum like a few seconds. No one is spending minutes in the link in your bio, so don't think too much about it. I promise, it'll be fine. When you have all the images downloaded to your computer and you're ready to put them into Wix, what you're gonna do is press the add button, and we're gonna go for image. So right up here, my image uploads. Upload from computer, Grove, it's right there. Don't have to dig for it in my downloads. So once that uploads, it is selected. We're going to add it to our page, and there it is, except we need to crop it because that's not what we want it to look like. I'm actually gonna resize it first before I crop it, make it a little bit smaller. At this point, you guys, again, use your creative liberty. If you want to copy the exact thing I did, I am not going to be offended. I'm not gonna think some type of way about it. You can have it, girl, it is yours. But if you feel like being a little bit creative, go for it. You can make your buttons bigger, you can make them longer. You don't even have to use images. I do recommend using images though. It is a lot quicker for us to process an image than it is for us to process text. Makes it so much easier if someone is coming to the link in your bio. So from here, I'm going to crop it. And I'm gonna press that shape crop button, and I'm gonna do a square. It would be super cute, you know, if you guys did like circle or like had a little hexagon design going on, all sorts of trendy things you could do. I'm gonna do a square. And then from here, I can adjust my image a little bit more if I wanted to. Looks good to me. We're gonna stick with it. So check. Now that we have this done, there are a couple more things we can do to it. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you want to change the color of your background, if you click on the background, it'll say change page background. So you can click that. It brings up different images. You could upload your own image here, put a cute pattern if you want, or you can change the color. So for this example, I'm just gonna change the color really quick because I forgot to show you guys that. So we're just gonna go with something like neutral and light. So that looks good. I'm gonna add that. There we go, okay. So back to our little button here. If I press the design button, right here, it pulls this up. So this is what is going to change the look of your button. So if you scroll over these, it'll show you, it'll do like kind of a preview. So I really like this one that's like a shadow because it kind of makes it 3D. They have tape and other things. So if you just scroll over them, it'll kind of preview what they look like. Again, I really think this shadow is super cute. So from there you can customize it if you want to. I'm just gonna leave it as is. So like I said, there are a lot of different things you can do to your buttons to customize them. I actually think this button would look better if it had a white background, so it would stand out against that light pink background I chose. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. I'm just gonna go to customize, fill color. My background is at 0% right now. You can see that it's transparent right here. I'm just gonna fill it all the way up, and its default is set to white. So that looks good to me. And that's another reason why you should do your background first, so you know what colors to make your buttons. I forgot to show you that. Anyways, so at this point, I kind of want to see what it's going to look like on the mobile version so I can start making adjustments before I get too far. So at the top of the web page, there's a strip right up here. This is our desktop version. It's what we're currently editing on. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and save it, and we'll call it example. Save. Okay, but right next to that desktop version, oh gosh. Right next to that desktop version, there's a little phone icon, and if you click that, it'll show you what your website will look like on a mobile screen. So the first thing it gives you the option to do is to say how you want your header to look, I think. Yeah. So it shows you over here, you can make it scroll with the page, back to top button. This back to top button is really useful. I say keep it. Okay, we're going to our mobile editor. This is what it looks like, not what we want it to look like. Wait a second, I accidentally grabbed my little Miss Calls Campers header. Okay, you can scroll on here and kind of see what it's gonna look like. What you can do on this mobile preview is move things around, adjust the size. What you cannot do is add new elements. That's what the desktop editor is for. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and resize things, get them looking the way I want to. Just make sure everything kind of fits the way I want to. I would recommend taking some time to think about what you want this site to look like, how you're gonna make this site be the most useful. I don't recommend putting a ton of buttons too close to each other. For me, about 3 buttons seemed pretty good, and they're not perfect right now, but I'm not trying to make this perfect. So I'm just gonna move things where I want them. Something else you can do on here is you can change the text size really easily. So if you click on an element, you can bring the text up, which is better on mobile devices. You want your text to be pretty big so that's easy to read, or you can bring it down if you want to. We're just gonna leave it for this example. I'm gonna drag this up here, and I actually want this text to be centered, so I'm gonna go to settings, make that centered. Looks good. Bring this, oh, too far. Too far, Maylene, too far. Okay, bring my button right here. Okay, looks good. At any time, you can switch back to your desktop site. So what we're gonna do is go back to our desktop site. And from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a few more buttons just for this example. Okay. These buttons are a little bit too big, so I'm actually gonna highlight, oops, not that. I'm gonna highlight these buttons, and then I can resize them all together. Handy little tip there. Now I'm sure you are ready to start adding links, right? That's the whole point of this, is to add links. So I'm gonna show you the basic way to add a link to where someone clicks on that button, it'll take them straight to the page. So click on whatever button you want. I'm gonna click on this first one. I'm gonna make a link, and on the left side you can see where it will link to. So if you were doing a full, website, web page, a lot of these would be useful. I'm really gonna only use 2 of these options. So the first one is a web page, and so let's just say www.youtube.com/Mrs. Calls Campers. Done. Now we're gonna do the rest of them. So let's just change this text for the sake of it. Etsy. we're gonna link it to a web page, www.etsy.com/shop/misscallscampers. Done. Okay. The next thing you can do is have a little Lightbox pop up. So going back to my page over here, if someone clicks one of these links, bam, it's gonna bring up something called a Lightbox. And if you wanna do this too, I am not gonna be like, oh my gosh, you stole my idea. You can have it if this is something you wanna do. I think it's really convenient, especially if you have some sort of referral code. So for here, it just says, use the link and enter email for a free cleaning kit. But for example, my HP Instant Ink one has a code, so you can actually copy that code, or you can use the link, whatever you wanna do. I'm gonna show you how to make a Lightbox. So back to our website, you're gonna click here and you're gonna press the link button. But this time, instead of linking directly to a web address, we're gonna link to a Lightbox. So create now. I think for all of my Lightboxes, I just did this basic one and edited it. So that's what I'm gonna show you how to do. This looks a little intimidating. I promise it's okay. So this green box right up at the top is how you're gonna exit it, but everything you do right now is what's gonna pop up when you do your Lightbox. This little blue outline here shows you what's inside your Lightbox. So you can put elements inside and outside. So sometimes people put exit buttons on the outside of their Lightbox. I recommend just putting everything in your blue box. So we want this for Grove. And we are gonna have to edit this a little bit. It's okay, so I'm gonna make my color of my text, highlight that. And then this is a button, kind of like what we made before. It's not linked to anything yet. If you wanna link it to something, you're just gonna press this link button, go to web address. Let's just make it go to grovecollaborative.com. Is that their actual website? Grove.co in a new window. Done. You can change the text of this too, so you could just make it say Grove. That's what I did on my website. So I actually can just delete this element right here. Okay, we've got Grove right here. You can change the color of it. Once again, you can change the opacity of it. Let's just make it pink for the sake of this. And here we go. I'm actually gonna make this Lightbox smaller, so I'm just gonna press in the space of the Lightbox. And we're just gonna drag that in. So as you can see, these elements are not in the Lightbox. We want them in the Lightbox. So I'm gonna drag my elements back inside. This can be a little bit tricky, but you're really only gonna have to do it one time. So you can add other text boxes or other elements, images, things like that if you want in this Lightbox. All you have to do is go back to this menu from before, press add. If you wanna add another text box, go for it. I think I did. So just add whatever text box that you want. Drag it into the Lightbox. And also just copy and paste the text box that you already did. That probably would have been a little bit smarter, but that's okay. Here's what our Lightbox looks like. I'm actually going to go to design. I just clicked on the Lightbox in the space and I'm gonna change the color. So let's make it, I guess we can't make it white. We'll just make it red. For no reason. Oh, it's Christmas. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. So I've closed my Lightbox, but I wanna show you guys something really important. Over on the left side, there's a button that says menus and pages. For now, we just have one page. It's our home page. That's all we need. And then we have Lightboxes. So these are things that are gonna be triggered when someone clicks on something. So I created the Lightbox that I like. If I press on it, you can see it pop up. And what I recommend you do, if you want more than one Lightbox, instead of going through that whole process again, is just click here on these little 3 dots and duplicate it, and then call it whatever you want. So that first one was Grove. We can call the next one Rover, because I have that one. Duplicate it again. We can call the next one HP. And this is just for us. No one else is gonna see this. So once you have your first Lightbox set up and designed, as you can see right over here, I recommend duplicating as many Lightboxes as you need, then going into each one from this screen and editing it. So I've selected the Rover one. You can see that it's blue. So I'm just gonna go here, change this to say Rover. And then of course you're gonna change all of your codes and your information. To get back to that page, press the menu button on the left side and then edit for all of your other buttons. This is gonna save you time. Once you have all of your buttons duplicated and you've edited each and every one, oh, I forgot to show you. To actually link it to the website, you wanna press on the button. Oh no, I already showed you that. Okay, we're fine. Make sure you change the links for all of your Lightboxes when you edit them. Okay, so once you have all of the Lightboxes that you need, then you can go in and link them to the buttons you already made. So I'm gonna exit my Lightbox mode right up here on that green little exit. And then I'm gonna click on my next button. Let's pretend this one says Rover. I know it says Grove. We're gonna link it to a Lightbox. Then we're gonna pick Rover because it's a Rover Lightbox. Done. Now we're gonna link our next one. Let's say this one is a HP Lightbox. I didn't change the images, sorry. Okay, so now that that's all set up, what you wanna do is test it. So we're gonna save it and then exit out of there, and then we're gonna preview it. So click on preview. It's easy to do this in the desktop version. Click on all of your links. Make sure that they all go to the place you think they're gonna go to. So that one works. Click on this one. That first one isn't clicking. Okay, so let's troubleshoot that. So back to editor. I'm gonna click on this, and I never linked it. Okay, so Lightbox, and then that welcome screen. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention though, when you do create your first Lightbox, because it was like a welcome screen, just the way we set it up, it is something that's gonna pop up when someone first clicks on your link. So when you go to my page, let me just refresh it for you. I do have a Lightbox that pops up on there just on the home page. There it is. And it's just something I wanted to announce on my page. And that's kind of what this Lightbox is doing right now. So in order to fix that, what we're going to do is go to our menu over here, and then we're gonna go to Lightboxes, welcome, and triggers. This right here says automatically display Lightboxes on pages. We want that to say no. It is currently linked to the home page. If I had went ahead and launched this website, if you click the link in my bio, this Grove free cleaning kit would be the first thing that pops up, and that's not what I want. So I'm gonna say no. And then from there, we should be good to go. So I'm gonna save it, exit that again, and then let's preview it and see if that fixed it. So click it, and it pops it up. That's exactly what we want. Click our website, make sure it goes where we want it to go. From here, we can go ahead and head back into the mobile version and kind of fine tune things the way we want them. So on my page, I did add extra things like text boxes down here with just some other information I wanted. But just for the sake of this example, we're not gonna do that because you don't wanna be here all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these buttons where I want them to be. If you need to resize them, you can go ahead and do that. Again, this is just an example, so I'm not looking for perfection here. That all looks good, so we're gonna save it. So that is the basic setup on how you can create your own page with your own links. If you did want to add that extra Lightbox for when you very first click on the page, all you have to do is go back to your website, press the add button, and you're gonna scroll down to Lightbox and then just make another welcome one. So I'm just gonna leave this one as it is so you can see it. I'm actually gonna make this Lightbox smaller because we are editing on a mobile version and we want people to not get overwhelmed with this giant pop-up on their screen, right? So let's just take away some of this text. You know, we'll make it say hi so it doesn't look so crazy. Another really important thing with your Lightboxes is you need to give people a way to leave your Lightboxes. So if you go to settings on your Lightbox and scroll down, you can see this X icon right here. So I'm just gonna close it and open it so that it pops up right in my window. And I recommend having that on your Lightboxes just so that people don't get confused on what to do, because like I said, people just want to go into your link and out of your link in bio, so just make it as easy as possible for them. So I'm going to save it at this point. When you're ready to actually share your website, what you're going to do is click publish now, and it's good to go. So from here you can actually take this link, copy it, go into bit.ly or whatever link shortening thing you want to use, create a new link. So I'm going to create it, and then I can change what the back half says. So I can make it say example. I actually can't make it say example because I'm sure someone has that bit.ly link already, but basically you can make it say whatever you want. Then you're just going to go into your Instagram profile, you're gonna edit your bio, paste the new link, and you should be good to go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful for you if this is something that you're looking into doing. I tried to go as quickly as I could, just mentioning like the very important things, the basic things that you needed to do. But the best thing is honestly gonna be for you to get in there and play with the website yourself, see what you can do. You might surprise yourself. And if you do decide to change your link in bio from Linktree to this, I would really appreciate it if you screenshotted it and tagged me in your stories, because I am dying to see what you guys create. Thank you guys again again so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I would love to have you. And please check out my Etsy shop. I just launched it and I'm so excited about it. I am going to be adding new designs. As I add new designs, I will go ahead and post sales on my Instagram story. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you're following me there. I hope if you're watching this video, you're at least following me on Instagram. Also, don't forget about the code that I gave you guys at the beginning of the video for my Etsy shop. It will expire. It's not going to be there forever. So please take a look. Let me know what you think. Everything is 100% made by me. I didn't use clip art. I didn't use fonts. Everything I just did by hand. So I'm really proud of it and I'd love for you to check it out. Again, thank you for watching. I love you so much and I'll see you in the next one. So right up here at the top, there's a little strip with buttons on it.